What's up? It's Guru Jojo, and I'm here to give an energetic update. Basically, going to be talking briefly about the eclipse season that has just passed, and we're still going through the symptoms of that. Also, the Mercury retrograde, which is about to come to an end, I believe, on August 1st, and the Sun going into Leo with Mars also transiting in Leo. So, the past solar eclipse season has been pretty tough, I think, for all of us, but it's also been like a great time for us to just release a lot of energy, which is always the case, it seems, for things related to spirituality. But we're constantly replenishing our energy. In order to do that, we always have to release energy, and then we have to gain back energy. So it's just a constant process of dumping things in the trash and then putting a new garbage bag in there and throwing more trash in there. But what's important is what was inside of the package that now we threw out, the remaining leftover that we don't need. You know what I'm saying? Like, we go and make a pizza. The pizza has like the cardboard box that the pizza's in, and then we throw out the plastic and we recycle the cardboard for good people. But it's like, what was inside the cardboard? It was the pizza. So was it worth it? Was it good? Was it valuable to us? For me, it was. I enjoyed the pizza. So just use that metaphor towards your life as it relates to the things that you're partaking in, and whatever remaining leftover that you have to throw out. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to remove, but we're also trying to remove the things, like, not put our energy into the things that we no longer need anymore. So if I didn't like that pizza, I shouldn't purchase it again. You know what I'm saying? But with the eclipse season, this energy was more geared towards trying to let go of any overly ego-bounded energy. So things that we were holding on to just because of our ego, just because of that prideful energy that we may have in something that really ain't shit. Excuse my language, but it's, you don't want to become a martyr to something that's really not worth it, that's really not providing any more benefits anymore. And it's hard to let go of the stuff that we're comfortable with. So it was a need for us to let go of things that we might have been comfortable with in order to establish a more professional outlook, in order to build something better, something stronger, and something that's going to have a better professional standing. So with that being said, I hope everybody has been able to overcome any circumstances that has came to them. As it relates to emails and whatnot, I do apologize if I wasn't able to get back to anybody immediately. I've been building my own website. I've been trying to rebuild myself and the stuff that I want to do. So when it comes to that, I have to put myself before others in that circumstance, because in any other case, I usually tend to do the opposite. So, but for the case of the eclipse season, I knew that it was important for me to choose myself first. So I hope that you guys did the same. So besides that, Mercury was also in retrograde. It's still in retrograde. I believe it's going to come out in August. I think it's August 1st. So Mercury went into retrograde, I want to say July 7th. No, July 17th. July 7th. If I make a mistake, I'm gonna put it in the description or something. But I believe it was July 7th. And when Mercury went into retrograde, it was in the sign of Leo. So Leo, the frequency of Leo right now is very important right now, and I'm gonna get back to that. But it was in the sign of Leo, Mercury, which means it was dealing with communications, thinking, processing information as it relates to vision, the things that you can see, performance, what's the brightest. So the energy of Leo focuses on the brightest energy. The best performance is the brightest. The brightest performance is what is recognized. So this is why a lot of times the frequency of Leo is very much connected to, the people that are the most valuable players on a team. These are the people that have your, what do you call it? Like your highest, when you're in high school and stuff, and they're like the people that got the highest GPA, I forgot what they call it, but stuff like maybe valedictorian. I might have pronounced it wrong, but any of those type of energies is very connected to the frequency of Leo, because it's where somebody's being recognized for being the brightest or for having a good performance in something. So this is even too like the people that get the awards at work for making the most sales, or like being getting like even like promotions at work for having the highest performance at work. These are your Leo frequencies. Now, Mercury was in there, so this was the stuff that we were thinking about. This was the stuff that we were processing. This is the stuff that we were communicating about with others. And we were also focused upon communicating in the brightest way, communicating in a way that's going to have the best performance. So this makes the energy quite Aquarian in nature, because when you combine like Mercury with Leo energy, it's sort of like, at least for the new age, what can I do? What can I use to have the best performance? So unfortunately right now, I'm going against that, because if I wanted to have the best performance, I should probably use my phone. The iPhone camera is a lot better than the MacBook webcam. But as you can see, there's a lot of like this, not distortion, but I don't know, pixelation, and it's sad, like the way that these electronics are, because it's like you pay all this money, it's like this should be better. There's no reason why I should have to buy a separate webcam. Maybe I'm cheap, I don't know. Anyways, but I'm off topic. Mercury was in Leo when the retrograde started, and then it went back into the sign of Cancer, which means now it went from focusing on performance, right? What's the brightest, thinking and communicating about these things, thinking of ways to have the best performance, thinking of ways to be the brightest, right? That's what I would do. I'm like, yo, where can I get the most lighting? Where can I get the best lighting? You know what I'm saying? And then it went back into Cancer, and now Cancer is about nurturing these things. Cancer is about feeling comfortable. So there was kind of like a conflict between being the brightest and also your own comfortability, because what if you're a person who prefers the dark? Like me, I prefer nighttime, I prefer the dark, but it's like at the same time, how is that going to conflict with where Mercury started at, which was in Leo, being the brightest and having the best performance, versus my own comfortability? Okay, am I going to have the brightest performance in the car where the sunlight is directly hitting the car, and now everything's going to be all nice and bright? Or am I going to have the best performance in the house? Like what room? Because it's dark in some rooms, it's light in other rooms, maybe over somebody else's house. Maybe, for the energy of Cancer, maybe I can have a good amount of comfortability in somebody else's house. Or maybe I have to break out of my comfort zone in order to have the best performance. So these are the things that we were looking at for, Mercury going from Leo into Cancer. We were just looking at how can I have the best performance, but how is this conflicting with my own comfortability? Like, what do I need to do in order to integrate both my comfortability and even nurturing myself? A lot of times, the frequency of Leo, we could be so focused upon performance, being on stage, putting on a show, we could forget to take care of ourselves. We could forget to eat. We could forget to nurture our basic needs. So these are the things we needed to balance and integrate so that we can live a more healthy, balanced life in general. So now Mars is about to go. No, Mars has been in Leo. I believe Mars is in Leo. I'm just gonna double check with my app that I have. And if anybody's wondering, the application that I use for astrology is called Time Passages. I'm not gonna brag about it. I've been using it. It works for me. It looks like this pretty much. Well, Time Passages. All right, forget it. The thing keeps going away real quick, but it's just an app that I use. So the current position of Mars is 12 degrees, and then the sun is about to go into, it's in 12 degrees Leo, and the sun is about to go into Leo too. Right now the sun's in 28 degrees Cancer, which means in 2 degrees is pretty much going to be into 0 degrees Leo. So it's at the cusp right now, being that Mercury was in Leo right when it started, and then right before it went retrograde. Mars is in Leo. Now the sun's about to be in Leo. There's a focus on performance, brightness, entertainment. Okay, Leo energy is kind of important right now, which is a problem because I got Leo in my 12th house. I escape performance, I escape attention, I escape recognition. So it's hard for me. I have to come out of my comfort zone just to like be within the proper frequencies right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of person when Leo frequencies come up, I'd be like, deuces. But I can't, because then people gonna look at me funny. People look at me funny anyway. So yeah, I went to pull cards for each of the signs and go over basically the Mars energy that we're currently that's currently transiting, as well as the sun energy. So this is gonna be the sun and the Mars transits for all the signs. I'm gonna start with Aries. So if you're in Aries, sun, moon, or rising, Leo is going to be transiting your 5th house. Aries, sun, moon, and rising, Leo is going to be transiting your 5th house. All right, so this basically means that right now Aries is very focused on being the brightest, but also being the brightest in anything that they entertain. So Aries right now since you are focused upon having the best performance and being the brightest, right now it's necessary for Aries to focus a little bit more on their the tools that they're using for their performance and not being so much in a rush to do things. At the same time, don't focus so much upon the resources and the tools that you want to utilize with whatever you're trying to have a performance with, that it prevents you from being a part of the performance. But it's, you know what I'm saying, it's like something where Aries needs to really be able to balance between all of the things that they want to use for their performance versus the actual enjoyment and the pleasure and the entertainment of it itself. So whatever leisures that Aries are into, you know, this may be taking up more of their life versus like maybe provided an actual service. So, and a lot of this they may be doing within their home, the comfortability of their home. So that's pretty much what I'm getting for Aries. Just, you know, make sure not to overdo it. But, you know, Aries gonna do what they want to do anyway. But right now, Aries don't really want to think so much about the details, but then they're kind of being driven towards utilizing certain resources in order to enhance a performance or an entertainment. I mean, don't think of this way that I talk. Don't think of it so much in how I say it. Like, it's as simple as you want to watch a television program and you have trashy ass cable, and it's like, what do you have to do in order to improve that performance so that you can actually watch your television program that you enjoy? Do you see how like it's simple that it could be? Now, if you're a person who has more of a, if you're into sports, if you're in, you gotta kind of apply it with who you are. You know, if you're a person who's into sports, if you're a person who's into you know, academics or something like that, right now you're more so focused upon being the best player, being the highest in your academic class or something like that. You got to think about what it is that you're into. You know, it could be even having the most networks or something like that, like wanting to connect with the most people and trying to initiate that, wanting to have the but right now what Aries really needs to focus on is less about the popularity and more so the performance, because the performance brings the popularity, it brings the views, it brings the fans, you know, the networks, the performance itself. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, let's go ahead and pull a card for Aries. All right, so we got the Ace of Cups for Aries. So Ace of Cups basically deals with some sort of new opportunity as it relates to nurturing, or even giving an opportunity of, a lot of times, love, or this could even have to do with, like, you know, obviously sipping on something, drinking, but in general the cups have to do with nurturing something, nurturing the emotions and feelings. So there's a need to sort of draw back and identify more so with your emotional nature, and with the things that you're being given on a more emotional level, because there's some sort of opportunity for love, care, nurturing of something, or this card is being given to you in order to tell you that you need to pay attention to something. I'm going to pull out one more card just to because being that this Leo energy is transiting your 5th house, this brings on opportunities for like with this card, like romantic relationships and stuff, like, you know, the fun kind too, because the 5th house is more of the fun stuff. I have the 9 of Wands with this one, so there could be opportunities for you in love, but it could just be that you're on the defense, so you kind of need to just, aka you may be hiding some sort of insecurities and whatnot right now, and this could prevent you from, you know, seeing these opportunities and letting these opportunities play out for love, nurturance, care. All right, so for a Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This means the Sun and Mars is going to be transiting your 4th house. And this pretty much means that right now there needs to be more of a focus on, well, it doesn't need to be. You're actually driven to do this with the Mars frequency. If you don't do it, Mars kind of causes like a irritation within, that you'll start to feel anxious and weird, because Mars really tries to push out an agenda. So for somebody like who has a Taurus Sun, Moon, or Rising right now, your agenda, your intentions, your willpower is being geared towards the family and gaining resources for the family, gaining security for the family. How can I gain security and resources for my family so that we can feel more comfortable within our environment, so that we can feel more secure and stable within our home? So usually Taurus is focused more so upon holding on to resources as it relates to themselves and their own pleasure and their own needs. Right now, it's squaring off into the 4th house. So now you want to entertain your wife, or your husband, or your kids. So your wife and your kids, your husband and your kids, your whoever you feel family with. Keep that in mind with the 4th house. Doesn't always necessarily mean like the traditional family. It could mean, depends on, especially if there's Leo there, Tauruses naturally feel at home with the people that they entertain and the people that entertain them. So right now, there's a feeling of wanting to almost like give resources or give a helping hand or give material to people that you feel at home with, based upon how they entertain you. Like, so if you, this could be like there's a girl or a guy that you like, this is someone who entertains you, and now you kind of want to give them a ring, like you kind of want to propose or something like that. But there could be an issue as it relates to resources. You may not have the funds right now to do so, or you may have to take out a big loan, or you really have to sit there and think about, is this girl worth it? Is she worth it? Because I'm gonna have to pull out a lot of money in order to give her that ring right now. You know, maybe you have to, maybe you want to buy your child something like special and big that they really want, and you know it's going to kind of cost you an arm and a leg. It's stuff like that. And even too, like, let's say you guys want a hot tub, so you know what I'm saying, it's like stuff for the home that you entertain rather than stuff for yourself, but stuff for the home that everyone that you feel at home with and you feel that is a part of your family can utilize this resource too. So there's a need to like kind of break away from that hoarder energy and kind of like get resources and share resources with people that you feel at home with and that you feel family with. So, and trying to even this is too, like maybe trying to get more trying to get like games and stuff for the home, like I imagine an arcade, but like any type of thing where somebody could participate in something that's going to be entertaining. So a TV, an arcade, what's that ice hockey, like not ice hockey, but when I was young I used to play this game where it's like you hit the air hockey. Alright, so the card I pulled for Taurus though is the Six of Swords. So Six of Swords is pretty much, this card deals with usually a move or helping somebody move. It's also the card of science. It's the card of trying to break out of some sort of pattern of hardship, and like now you're kind of moving on to start a new pattern over. Six of Swords oftentimes deals with visitors too. It could be that somebody's coming to visit the home, so that could be why you need to kind of invest in some sort of resources for entertainment to keep them entertained, because now they're coming to the home, so it's like now you gotta kind of get these resources so they can have fun and enjoy themselves. A lot of times this could mean somebody's coming back. Somebody that left could be coming back, usually temporarily, for whatever reason. So that's the card that I got for Taurus. A second card I pulled is the High Priestess. So it could be maybe like a secret admirer, or somebody who's I consider myself to be a high priestess. I ain't visiting though. Maybe you visiting here, maybe you visiting this channel for entertainment. I don't know. My brother's a Taurus rising. Is he watching this? Nah, I don't know. I'm just joking. But high priestess is usually like a female leader in some way, like not like a leader, but somebody who gives out information, and usually it's more unconventional, because the high priest is like the conventional methods that we use. So the high priestess usually deals with like, it can also mean a secret admirer, or somebody that you secretly admire. So with that combination that you received, it could mean that some sort of secret admirer is coming, you know what I'm saying, to visit for whatever reason. All right, so now we're going to do Gemini. Sun, moon, and rising. So Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. Mars is going to be transiting, and the sun is going to be transiting your third house, which means that it's going to be dealing with communications, the neighborhood, short distance traveling, like driving down the street or driving to work. Younger siblings. All right. So right now, your energy is going to be geared towards any sort of communications that's going to bring about a better performance. Any sort of communications that's going to bring about some sort of entertainment. So right now, Geminis may be less into their thoughts and more externalizing the energy. They may be more fixated upon entertaining others in some way or being entertained. So you could be watching more TV with the neighbors. You may kind of be in the mood to actually like call up your friend, your neighborhood friend, and be like, yo, you want to come over and we can watch this and this show? You may want to exchange communications a little bit more right now. You may want to be entertained by playing video games. You may be more apt. You probably playing Mortal Kombat more often right now or something, or football, or I forgot what they're called, like BK, 2TK. What is it called? What's the football games called? It doesn't matter. But this is what your energy is going to be geared towards. It's just going to be more geared towards entertaining your interests as it relates to things like video games, I would even say like playing an instrument. Anything that's gonna exercise the mind is what Gemini is geared towards. They're gonna be geared towards any sort of entertainment that has to do with exercising the mind. So that's why I said like playing games, whether it be exchanging communication. You may want to talk more than listen at this time, so it may be that you want to be the one who's performing the communication. But performance communication, keep that in mind. Performance communication right now. Oh, boom. So this could be stuff like singing, rapping, spoken word. You know what I'm saying? Even teachers are like performance communicators and stuff as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull a card for now. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. Alright, we got the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles basically has to do with, this is usually a personality type, okay? So you could be entertaining communication from some sort of female figure, or it doesn't have to necessarily be a female, but some sort of energy that's more about nurturing something as it relates to the earth, the planet that we live on, as it relates to money, resources, things that are more tangible. So there could be some sort of like earthly figure. Doesn't have to be a female, but this person would be usually when it comes to the earth signs, these people are usually good with their hands, and they usually are like business women or something like that. But that's what I'm getting for this. Let me see if there's another card I'm gonna pick. But this is somebody that you would be entertained by. And then we got the Six of Swords. So this person could be coming back, they could be returning, or they could be moving. So you could be preparing for this person to move, or preparing for this person to come back, preparing for this person's entertainment and communication, because they might have like disappeared, they might have left. You could be helping somebody move, you know what I'm saying, or somebody could be helping you move. That's Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Right now, Mars and Sun is going to be transiting your second house. So this means there's going to be a focus on anything related to your money, your resources, your gifts that you have. Right now, you want to initiate those things. Right now, you want to bring light to those things. Right now, you want to express those things. So Taurus, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising is being geared towards showing off their money, showing off their resources, showing off the things that they have, asserting what material they have. So you could be less thrift, is thrifty the word? Less cheap, whatever, and more open to spending money, more open to expressing your resources. Maybe you got like clothes that are dingy or something, or regular, and then you got like some clothes that are really expensive. You're pulling back the dingy clothes and you're pulling out the expensive clothing. Okay, you're like, look at me, check me out, you know what I'm saying? Right now, that's what the energy of Cancer is doing. Sun, Moon, and Rising. You're geared towards showing off what resources you have, the gifts that you have as well. Damn, I'm a Cancer moon, yo, and I look dingy. That's okay. You got the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords usually is the escape artist and the person who communicates in a way that seems like they're leaving out some details, leaving out some information, and then you kind of be suspicious of them, like, why they say what they said? Why they do that for? What they mean by that? What they mean by what they said? They're sneaky. They're suspicious. Pick another card. Four of Cups. Four of Cups is actually the Cancer card. That's actually ruled by Cancer. This is usually a card where somebody could be offering opportunities to you and you could be ignoring them. You could be a very moody person, and then this makes people suspicious. Like, you could kind of go from extremes in your mood. Usually though, like this card, like if you look at it, it's like a little boy just like chilling, and the girl's kind of just like in the background, kind of like not admiring him, but she kind of like trying to figure out a way to like brighten up his mood, but he's kind of just like, leave me alone. Stop! I don't know if y'all heard my latest songs. I make music too, and like I always say, leave me alone in my songs. I don't know why I do it. I think it's because I'm a Pisces, and that's the sign of like being left alone. Anyways, yeah, so that's what Cancers are going through right now. So now on to the next sign, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The Sun as well as Mars is going to be transiting your first house. Your first house. So, right now, with the Sun transiting your first house as well as Mars transiting your first house, your energy is going to be more geared towards your intentions. You're bringing light to your dramatic nature. You're bringing light to your the things that you entertain. You know what I'm saying? You're bringing that all out to light for people to see and for people to recognize you, and your intentions are being geared towards receiving attention, receiving recognition. So right now, other people may bring you into the light. They may entertain your interest. They may be a fan, as well as you may also entertain other people's interest in order to receive that back. So right now you may be geared towards being on stage, putting on a show in some way, and that's pretty much and it's the best time to do that right now because of all the Leo energy. So it's a good time for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising right now. Right now, people can really see what you entertain. All that is being brought to the light right now. And so my bad. The card that you receive, is this the Two of Wands? Yeah, it's the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands usually has to do with, so it's usually you have opportunities for you to act upon. Which direction are you going to pick is usually the Two of Wands. Which direction do you want to pick? Where do you want to go? It's like right now, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, they can see all these possibilities, but there could be something holding them back. They see the possibilities ahead. They can envision it, but it's like you got to come out of your comfort zone or something. You got to make a decision as to what you want to do, what you want to show the world, what you want to express, because that's what's holding you back right now. All right. I'll clarify that. So we got the Five of Pentacles. So this together, okay, this is confidence but stuck. Confidence but stuck, right? You see everything that you can do. You're confident in it. What's holding you back? Money, resources is holding you back. You don't have the funds right now to do the things that you want to do because people aren't supporting your endeavors in some way. Because these things take time to build, and because you're feeling left out in the cold. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising feels left out in the cold. They feel like they're being left behind from attention in some way. Maybe they feel like they should be receiving more attention for what they're doing, or for some reason they feel like somebody has given them the cold shoulder, or people have given them the cold shoulder. But most likely too with this card, it can often mean that the stuff that you entertain, the stuff that you express, it's just unconventional, it's unorthodox. So because of this, it's like you have to be patient to allow it to grow, because times are changing and all these unconventional things are gonna become traditional eventually. So yeah, that's some Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the next sign, which is gonna be Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, so for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, okay, the Sun and Mars is gonna be transiting Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising's 12th house in astrology. The 12th house deals with escapism. It deals with self-undoing. It deals with the spiritual realm. Everything that comes out of reality. Sounds a lot like I am a Virgo rising, and I got planets in the 12th house, so this constructs the basis of my personality. So let me tell you these frequencies for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Right now, the intentions are being geared towards showing what you do in the dark, showing what you do behind the scenes, putting it on stage. If you're into spirituality, if you're into metaphysics, if you're into things that are more a part of your imagination, aka if you're a religious, spiritual, if you're into like deep science, like stuff that you can't see in this reality, but people say that it's real. Like they say we have cells, right? We can't see cells. I don't see a cell. I don't see one. But if I get a microscope, I can see it, right? Same thing with astrology. Is like you can't see like someone's future unless you got clairvoyance, but it's like you got a horoscope, right? So now I can see what's ahead of my time, right? A horoscope. You know what I'm saying? I can't see the planets when I look up in the sky. Sometimes you can see Jupiter sometimes, but what do I need? A telescope. A scope. You need a scope for these things. That's what I'm saying. So right now your energy is geared towards bringing these things to light, bringing these things out in a way for people to see it and understand it. So right now Virgos are focused on bringing out the details of the unseen realm. Yeah, the unseen realm. And so if you partake in astrology, tarot, metaphysics, psychic mediumship, channeling, all that stuff, palm reading, you may be more apt to calling up a psychic reader right now. You may be more apt to getting some sort of services from some sort of unconventional reader, psychic, spiritual consultant in some way. Or you could be partaking in that career option instead, and people are coming to you for those type of services. The card that I picked for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising is the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles deals with some sort of growth and independence, pretty much. It's usually that person that everyone kind of likes or something like that, like, but they feel like they can't have because she act like she don't need anybody, and she's like chilling in the cut, like with all her little like flowers and fruits, and you feel like it's like forbidden, like you can't go over there. But that's this person. So right now, this could be the energy that a Virgo sun could be playing off, Moon or Rising. Or this could be someone they're interested in. Or this could just be how people are viewing this kind of person. But this is usually just like an earthly type of person who's very in tune with nature, but usually they're usually single. Like they're, for some reason that card deals with singlehood. It's like I could do bad all by myself kind of energy. And then you got the Four of Swords with it. So it could be somebody who's who partakes in, like, they disappear and they meditate, drifting in silence, you know? Four of Swords deals with contemplation, meditation, needing to rest, to take a break, to kind of like move away from the world, to regather one's thoughts. That's Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You could be contemplating some sort of connection with a person who's seems to be in tune with something that you with something that is a part of what you believe in, philosophically speaking, something like that, like business type of stuff too. But you could be just taking a break and needing to rest, and now you've like, it is the resting and the break was something in the past. Now it's like after you rested, the Nine of Pentacles card is like what has manifested after the resting process. So keep that in mind too. All right, boom. So now we're gonna do Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Yeah, Libra. So with Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this means that the Sun and Mars is going to be transiting Libra's 11th house. So the 11th house deals with networks, it deals with fans, it deals with groups, social, anything in this day and age. This has to do with social media most of the time, or people that are communicating at a distance. So for example, if you're watching this video right now, you're basically tapping into the 11th house, as well as the 3rd. But basically that's what 11th house, it deals with networks, with connections and stuff. So even like your they have 5G network now and stuff. That's your 11th house energy, because this is now a new type of network that people could go on that provides a higher service. So 11th house deals with higher services, like higher connections, higher networks. All right, so in unconventional methods of communication as well. So right now, the frequency of Libra is geared towards initiating and expressing some sort of networking energy. You could be featured on some sort of network. Somebody could shout you out in a network. Someone could you could be, and it's more visionary, so something could be shown on a network in some way. Like something could be you could be trying to engage with others in a way in which you're sending out a message that could be receivable for a bunch of people. So that's what I mean by networking. It's like you're killing a bunch of birds in one stone, as well as like passing a message to a variety of people all in one shot. Since it's Leo often has to do with like entertainment and stuff. So you could be trying to promote something that you entertain. You could be trying to show something that you entertain. And it's Mars, so it's competitive too. So you may be needing to do this for the competitive purpose. It's necessary for you to do this to show how you're more competitive, you're more bright, your performance is better, right? In some way. Right now that's what you're geared towards. Who's more competitive? Who's showing the best performance? The cards that I chose are the Page of Swords and then clarified by the Two of Cups. So Page of Swords usually deals with an intellectual person that can come off quite youthful, kind of suspicious because of the way that their mind works. But it's like usually like an innocent but halfway troubled kind of child like energy that the person will have. And then with the Two of Cups, it could mean that there could be somebody that you're interested in, who portrays this kind of energy. So there could be some sort of person that you're interested in, they're interested in you too, you two are coming together, and it's like this, but it's like the person is very like they just may be very what's the word that I'm looking for? It's like they could be very naughty in the way that they communicate in some way. Like they may not have a filter. They may have cutting words or something like that. And another thing could be that you're coming together in a relationship with this person. You may find out that they may have a kid or something, or like, or it could be that, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for that. You may be communicating about having kids. That might be like the ideal. That might be like an ideal for you to like have kids. So now you're trying to communicate about that. I'm gonna pick one more card for Libra because I'm kind of curious as to what this is about. I just want to make sure that I'm like at least touching base with like most Libras or in some way. Temperance. Okay, so this could mean that. Oh, so the other card that I chose to clarify with is the Temperance card. The Temperance card deals with some sort of need to balance between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. So this could mean that the child could have like some sort of temperamental issue, like their temperament might be out of balance in some way. And combined with Two of Cups, it may just mean that this is something that's being like discussed in a relationship. So you could have your relationship partner and you guys are talking about how you gotta get your child's temperament together or something like that. So if you're a teacher or something, I really don't know what Two Cups is doing here besides the fact that it's something that you may just be trying to get advice about from your romantic partner or something like that. So that's what I'm getting from that. Alright, so Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Alright, so if you're a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising, then this means that the sun and Mars is going to be transiting your 10th house. So this pretty much means that right now your energy is going to be geared towards performing some sort of leadership qualities, performing some sort of leadership qualities, but also performing some sort of high reputation, maybe wanting to control someone's performance and wanting to control. So right now you may want to be it's like you may want to be a manager or something like that for some sort of entertainment, managing some sort of entertainment in some way. And on the flip side, this can also represent a manager. So whatever company or job that you work for, the manager may be more controlling in the entertainment. Either the manager may be more apt to allowing more entertainment within the work environment. So maybe the manager's being less strict and able to laugh a little more and just have fun within the job. Or they could be restricting this and kind of like taking away that entertainment. You could also feel that someone around you or the people around you, you could feel competitive with their entertainment. So this is an energy where like whatever other people are entertaining or something like that, it can be where the Mars energy is causing you to be competitively entertaining for whatever reason. At the same time, it's just where you're expressing that energy anyway, because that's where it's transiting. But it's bringing to light where a lot of people in your life are sort of like kings and queens of the entertainment energy, like very entertaining people. And a lot of times too, this may make you want to play a role of being a manager, so you can naturally just be tuned into a managerial type of vibe. But it's just that could be a competitive time for you in this energy. So right now, if you're having trouble building, if you're having trouble getting yourself together as it relates to controlling your reputation, controlling your public status, all you really have to do is tap into, like, I'm on TV, like this is just a game, this is just acting, and just like act out those energies of being a manager. Scorpios are more geared towards trying to take control over their reputation, their public status, and they want to make sure that they're entertaining things that are of high quality, things that are of high status, high reputation, or some sort of good standing. And yeah. So right now, you could be entertained by people who are taking control over their public status and the way that they're being seen. People that are entertainers in particular, especially as it relates to like managerial type of energies, like people that are taking control over themselves in some way. So the card that I chose is this. So this card usually has to do with some sort of initiating in the area of work and gaining resources. Usually this is like a person who is still developing in their work, but they're pretty much like known for something, for their work in some way. And their actions are predicated upon work, like, because it's Pentacles, and Pentacles is always going to deal with work and resources. And then you got Four of Pentacles. Four represents structure. When you add Pentacles to that, it's usually where someone is holding on to a previous structure in their life. So holding on to previous work. Someone could be feeling these two combinations together could be some sort of stagnation in something not moving forward as it relates to work. wanting to move forward, and we're having a hard time coming out of the house, or having a hard time detaching from the resources that they feel comfortable with. And this could be kind of causing maybe a conflict with their reputation and their status, or something like that. But that's pretty much what this card is about. It's usually like withdrawing from others because someone's comfortable with the stuff that they indulge in, or something like that. So the resources that they indulge in. So boom, next sign. The next sign I'm going to do is Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The Sun and Mars is currently transiting Sagittarius's 9th house. So what this means is that Sagittariuses are being geared towards philosophy. They're being geared towards popularity. They're being geared towards parties and entertainment and beliefs. So right now, Sagittarius are acting upon what they believe in. They're acting upon their philosophies. They're acting upon their truth. They're acting upon what's backed and supported by what they're known for. They're acting upon higher truth, basically, and justice. This is all being asserted. So people could, you're putting this out in the open, people could see what you really believe, like what holds your faith. People could really see whether or not if your belief system is at odds with theirs, or if it's something that they can actually feel connected to. Preaching is going to be a big thing right now. Sagittariuses are going to be more geared towards preaching and teaching. You could have opportunities to teach a class, to gain more students in your class, to preach. Don't be drinking a bunch of alcohol and going out in the friggin' street preaching the goddamn Bible at 1 a.m. while people are just trying to get home from some party that they went to, late at night or something. Or do that, I don't know. Because it really don't matter. I'm just saying, like, what the different octaves of expression could be. There's gonna be your people that got too drunk. Now they outside preaching some bullshit. Then some of them not preaching some bullshit. Some of them drink and they be tapping into some truth, but it just be like, you not living that truth. But you talk about some real shit though. And then you're gonna have your people that are going to be more apt towards receiving higher education, wanting to take more classes, wanting to partake in more courses. They may be a teacher and now they want to teach another course. They could be gaining more students in their classes, right? Then there's going to be your preachers. These are your people who suddenly getting a lot of insights as to what to preach for mass, what to preach for church, your reverends and stuff. They may feel a little bit more in tune with their beliefs. They may be more open in the way that they express themselves, less filtered. So this is with the time you go to church. If your priest is a Sagittarius, find out, go to church, because mass is going to be popping. It's going to be extra because he's not going to be filtered. She's not going to be filtered at all. She's just going to be like, they're going to be spitting the truth right now. You know what I'm saying? If a Sagittarius is a rapper or a singer, they're going to come out with mad music right now. Like, they're probably going to drop a whole mixtape or something like that. Got the Page of Swords and the Strength card. So right now, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising is geared towards being communicatively sharp, intellectual, and they're using their communication skills in order to gain power over others rather than using physical means like their hands and whatnot and getting into fights. They're using the power of communication in order to get across their message and have control over others. Boom! That's Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The Sun and Mars is going to be transiting your 8th house. So this pretty much means that your ego is being shown right now. So like your lower self, the things that you do in the dark in order to tell yourself, in order to like manipulate your own negative emotions, is being shown. People could see it right now because you're entertaining that, you're expressing that. So the truth about things that you may, so with Leo in the 8th house, Capricorns are quite critical of the things that other people entertain naturally, because Capricorn's the energy of being a manager and overseeing people. So because they, in their mind, that regardless if they're a manager or not, the frequency of Capricorn's connected to having to maintain a particular public status. So they like to make sure that they're entertaining the right people, places, and things, so that they don't destroy their reputation. So when you have the Sun and Mars transiting that area of things that are like things that people do behind the scenes, that you may not necessarily agree with, as well as things that people do behind the scenes that you may agree with, but on the surface it looked different, as well as what people's intentions are that you didn't know, it's all coming to light. And then I hope your intentions that you wanted is coming to light too. But right now, regardless if you were on page or not, other people's intentions are now being brought out to the surface. This is going to show either you could be expressing some sort of dramatic resentment or internalized. It's not going to be internalized because right now it's Mars, and Mars kind of pulls that energy out. And the Sun also brings light to those areas. So your ego is being brought light to. Your anything that you entertain behind the scenes that maybe people didn't know, it's now people are going to know about it, because you're going to show, even if you're not directly saying it, you're going to show signs that would predict that that's what's happening anyway. So right now we got the 5 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. The 5 of Swords deals with, in my opinion, low blowing frequencies, but it's like a low blowing, but it's high. It's weird. It's like a unique way of conveying certain messages that sort of plays somebody else's ideals. So right now, you could be noticing a lot of your friends are enemies, or you could be noticing that you could also be transforming out of a state of feeling insecure because of people's insults and low blowing and, side dissing. You could be transforming out of some sort of negative emotions as it relates to a past of side dissing and stuff, and misunderstandings. A lot of misunderstandings is related to the 5 of Swords, because it's one of those things where you don't know why someone's saying or doing something that they're doing. Your ego will assume that it's for negative purposes, but that's not always the case. It just depends. But you're transforming out of that. Forgiveness is coming. Forgiveness is necessary. You're forgiving certain things that were entertained and certain things that might have not been entertained, that you may have desired, that you may have wanted. You're transforming away from that. 10 of Pentacles means that you're establishing, you're trying to establish yourself right now. And you may be more geared towards trying to invest in something or trying to build upon something that's going to be of high value. Be careful not to be critical of other people's status, and be careful not to be it's necessary not to compare right now, because if you compare too much, you could be critical of yourself for no reason, and it's not necessary. Just focus on yourself and building yourself, and creating what you would consider to be a happy family and home life, and don't worry so much about the side dissing and the stupid stuff that people are communicating to you, because it doesn't matter right now. That's Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Because a lot of times the Five of Swords it just means like indifference, and when there's indifference, it's like people like to try to they like to subliminally make you feel bad for what you enjoy and what you in your own interest. Don't do that to others, and also try not to take it to heart when other people do that to you. Is what I'm seeing from the cards that I chose, and then plus the transit being in the 8th house, dealing with sex, death, transformation, and things that you do, things that you entertain in the dark, things that you entertain behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? That you may not be so open about with others. Don't take it as though people are criticizing you for those habits or something like that. It's like with the 10 of Pentacles there, it's like you're kind of seeing that, oh no, this is somebody's profession or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm seeing. So now when it comes to Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, the Sun and Mars is going to be transiting Aquarius's 7th house. So this is the house of relationships, of connections, of connecting with another person, place, or a thing, of give and take, of exchange, of initiating compromise, initiating flexibility, initiating a relationship. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, right? So right now Aquarius is more geared towards entertaining somebody else's interest, entertaining somebody else's interest, entertaining somebody else's preferences, entertaining what somebody else performs. So right now there may be a need to go to somebody's performance, especially if it's your wife, your girlfriend, your fiance, your best friend, or something like that. Maybe they're going to be performing, and you should probably go and entertain it and see that performance, be a fan. It's time for you to be a fan, a network, a representation for something that you entertain. Maybe you're in a club, maybe it's your work environment. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's somebody that works in your same exact workplace, and it's like they're entertaining something that you may also be interested in being a part of. Right now it's a good time to sell products. If you're a person who's a business person, and you know what I'm saying, right now is a good time to increase your sales, because people kind of want whatever it is that you're selling. Right now it's a good time to form business partnerships, to start to organize any type of weddings or any type of ceremonies, or any type of situation where it involves yourself and a partner. Whatever your partner entertains, it's time to compromise that with your own individual personality, your own self-interest. So you have to be able to break out of your fixations and care about what other people enjoy, what other people entertain, what other people's interests are, what other people's leisures are. You may be more communicative right now. You may be more social. You may be entertaining people a little bit more with the way that you communicate. So the cards that I'm getting is the Page of Fire, or the Page of why did I say Fire? The Page of Wands. Oh, same thing. Page of Wands and the Five of Cups. So right now, be careful with the way that you communicate too, because you could hurt somebody's feelings. Be careful with the things that you're acting upon, because you could just regret it. For some reason, you could regret it. At the same time, don't cry over spilled milk. If there was something in the past that didn't work out and you're like upset about it, and you felt like now you don't have an opportunity, like, stop it, because there's another opportunity coming. Like, there's someone else, there's something else, there's something being manifested that is going to be just as beneficial or even better. But there was something that you were upset about, and it could be as it relates to a kid. If it's not a kid, then it's something that you're upset about as it relates to like something that you were passionate about that you wanted to do. But it's like, you know, you were crying over spilled milk, but you didn't realize that there was, what is it, two cups are standing up? Yep, there's 2 other cups, so it's not over. There's still more available. There's still others available. I just want to clarify this because it's like 4 of Swords. So, alright, so 4 of Swords now connected with this. Four of Swords. 4 of Swords usually has to do with needing to take a rest, take a break, meditation, contemplation kind of energy. So, you know, in the past, you might have either A, you waited too long to make a decision, and now that opportunity is not available for you anymore because you kind of were too lazy. Now, the other way that this is playing out is where there was something you wanted, but for some reason it didn't work out. So now you're in a state of regret. But after much contemplation and after a resting period, right, there's another opportunity available for you, but you have to be patient. That's Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And also too, it could be where other people for some reason are regretful and they feel kind of bad for something that went on. You know what I'm saying? These things it depends on like your circumstances, because these things could be expressed through different perspectives, you know? Alright, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this means that the Sun and Mars is going to be transiting your 6th house. So this brings attention to the area of work, to the area of daily routine, to the area of your work, especially as it relates to a mundane level, so the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Also your fitness, your dieting, all this stuff is being entertained, or it's being shown, it's being brought to light. It's being you may see other people entertaining your work. You may see more like an increase in some sort of visits or sales, and also too, you could be performing at work in some way. Like you may be looked at for a high performance or something at work. That's Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So the cards that I'm receiving is the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Magician card. The Magician card has to do with pretty much being able to control the elements in some way. So this is like the start of bringing in something new, because of the way that you initiated it. And then, so this is pretty much the card of magic. And then this has to do with someone who's brave and assertive in their own mind, their beliefs, their ideals, and they're carrying out those beliefs, those thoughts, that communication. So someone who communicates assertively in a magical kind of way. It's like the Magician card. A lot of times it's like bringing out the information. It's bringing out something into a real state, into reality, and it's done quite swiftly. It's done quite quickly with the Knight of Swords card. All right, so that's all the signs pretty much as it relates to the current energy updates, specifically the Mars transiting in Leo, as well as the Sun about to enter Leo in the next 2 days. So what's today, the 18th? Oh, it's the 20th. So that means like basically the Sun should be in Leo by the 22nd. Okay, it should be in 0 degrees Leo. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm developing my website right now. It's open. It's still under construction. I'm going to be taking scheduled consultations starting in August. The website is artless.xyz. Also, take a look at my music. My artist name is Guru Jojo. I have 3 songs out right now on SoundCloud, as well as Spotify and Apple Music. The songs are Sit Aside, 4D, and I Can Win. So check that out as well. I might put the links, I'll probably put the links in the description. Also follow me on Instagram at Guru Jojo. Yeah, and if you want to schedule some sort of consultation on an earlier note, email me and we can set up a schedule. For right now on my website, I'm not really putting the schedules are not going to be available until August, because I want to get a new webcam and stuff, because these consultations that I'll be doing, they're going to be done via the phone. Like, we're going to be on the phone or video chat. So it's going to be up to you, like what your preference is. You'll be able to put that in the notes, like, hey, I want to do a scheduled phone consultation or a scheduled video chat consultation. Now, these consultations, I'll speak about them more specifically in another video. But for now, thank you for watching. Blessings, love, and light to everyone.